Chris Squire, Nick.
Yes, sir, Chris.
More for the audience here, some of my questions. So the pass-through report today, number one, we need to all give thanks to God for doing in 3 days what we've been minus from using for the last 5.5 years, and we all recognize
Yes,
that.
sir.
The pass-through report today shows that we have a little over 700 acre-feet today, just in 1 day, through evaporation between the two western lakes.
Yep, lakes, yeah.
So Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon. That equates to about 235 million gallons a day. So with the groundwater pumping that you're doing, you've over the last year and a half, we've worked our way up to about 15 million gallons a day. I recognize in May and June we didn't pump. June was 11 days. That's 11 days that the saltwater barrier overflowed. And we pumped up until 11 o'clock at night that it overflowed. We pulled all the generators from the eastern well field last week in preparation of not knowing how far the lake is going to fill and whether we were going to have to release water in a quantity enough that was going to cause surface flooding down on the river. And so those wells aren't running right now. I know you're saying the western well, but we need to understand what protocols and what SOPs are going in now that we have water in the reservoir that's going to dictate when and what source we're going to pull. It shouldn't be arbitrary. And we know by the subsidence and the city's own hydrogeology that there is a negative impact. Over time, it gets worse. Groundwater we can't see. We're not measuring that level every day and reporting it. But every day that we use it, right now we're using 15 million gallons a day, not today, but on a daily average up until 2 weeks ago, and we will in 2 weeks from now. We're averaging 15 million gallons a day from something we can't see, taste, smell, or hear. And we're relying on y'all to tell us how much of that resource is there and how long before the impact reaches everybody else. So diversification is one thing, and we understand the need for that diversification.
Good.
But just because you have it doesn't mean you got to use it. Now that the scenario has changed and you have a quantitative amount that you can see every day, you can put your finger in it and you can tell how much you have and what how much you're using every day. So I really challenge the city to come up with a protocol and an SOP that you can share with us, because we know that you're working up to double that capacity in the western world. And you're still going after Evangeline. But when you look at the amount of water that it produces, it doesn't even cover the evaporation rate of the lakes. And the lakes are the cheapest water source. But until, we're 41% combined level right now. It took us how many years to go from 41% combined level to where we were 3 weeks ago? It took us 5.5 years. And so we can look at that. Don't use your reserve today just because you have it and nobody's watching. Got to watch. There's a lot of people that are dependent only on that source that'll never see a drop of the damn lake.
Absolutely. And we Chris, I appreciate the comments, and I know we met a lot, and we agree. I'm in agreement with you. One of the things that you did bring up when water was going over the saltwater barrier dam in June or May, June, and there were wells running earlier, just ahead of those waters that ran down there. I absolutely want to explain the reason is we have customers that take water from the Cal Allen pool. That of course is the Owen Stevens water treatment plant, but there is also the San Patricio Municipal Water District. And we are obligated to ensure that they have water as well. And they have needs. They serve, almost every municipality in San Patricio County. They typically utilize about 38 million gallons a day from both the Nueces River and also they come off the Mary Roads pipeline. It would not be responsible to let the river get to a point where they can't take the water they need, because we know the next day there's going to be plenty of water there. They have needs, they have residents that they're looking out for. So we have to work and continually communicate with all of our partners. And as you stated, this is a regional issue. And it involves many, many people, and we have to take all of those things in consideration when operating any of the water supply. And the key is to ensure that we have options available so that our community doesn't suffer, that we can get to a point where we have jobs to retain, the younger generation, as Mr. Cudd said. I think that's critical. If we're going to get to a point where we want to continue to see this great community thrive, and I think that's critical. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate that.
We have time for 2 more questions.